Let's cut that one. I should just quit real estate and just start playing golf full time.
Great first shot.
Thanks, Sam. A little short, but doable. A little short. Reminds me of the real estate market right now. A little short, but doable. Yeah, so I'm Jeff Packer with the Packer Group, and we wanted to do something a little different with our market update video, but talk a little bit about real estate while golfing and seeing what we can do here. But kind of the biggest thing whenever we talk about market update is we want to talk about supply, we want to talk about demand, we want to talk about what's going on as far as how supply and demand impact sales price, impact what buyers and sellers are doing. Yeah, I think one of the biggest things right now with supply is that supply is down nearly 14% year over year. And so what does that mean? That just means there's less sellers out there selling real estate, and that continues to create a shortage of good available homes. And that shortage of good available homes is part of the reason why the real estate market's actually still doing pretty good in terms of price. It's just means there's a lot less homes out there for sale. Like I said, 14% less is a lot less when you consider the fact that last year it was the lowest amount of inventory we had ever seen. See if we can get this. This is a left to right breaker. I have zero clue what the green speed is. Let's see if we can get a birdie. Go, go. All right, not a bad start. It's a pretty easy hole though. It's really a birdie hole. Oh, it's gonna be a sad day when the snow starts falling and we can't play golf. It's probably the worst part about living in Michigan is we've got a golf season and then we have a off season. Oh, I faded it way too much. This is gonna be a tough hole with that tee shot. So let's talk about the demand side for a minute. That one's the one that I think most people really expect to hear in a market update, is that we all know interest rates are the highest they've been in over 20 years. And as a result, that is causing some affordability issues in the real estate market. And whenever we have affordability, we measure affordability with an index called the Affordability Housing Index. And I was just looking at that here today, and it's down to 116, which is the lowest it's been in, really a long time, well over 20 years. So as a result of the Affordability Index being as low as it is, it's just causing some buyers to just go, hey, this isn't the market that I can buy a house in, and things like that. So as a result, we're sitting in a situation where buyers are getting priced out of buying homes, especially the higher margin buyers where maybe their credit score is a little bit lower. Maybe they're not putting as much down payment down. Their debt to income ratios are tighter. These are the buyers that are going to really struggle with being able to buy a home right now with where the market environment is right now. But as a result, we've seen almost 18% less closed homes this year over last year, year to date. That's a huge drop in the number of homes sold. And that's really what we measure the demand side of the equation. And so it just means with the interest rates being as high as they are, with house prices still being pretty high, all that's leading to buyers just maybe hitting the pause button on purchasing a home at this moment. It's not that people don't want to, people really want to. We're just not seeing a lot of people pulling the trigger on buying that house. All right, we gotta look for this ball. It's somewhere over here. I really sent it right. So I'm gonna try to hit a 6-iron, try to get as far down there as we can. I've got to kind of go under these limbs, but over the trees behind it. I am on the green, or at least the fringe. Wow. Yeah, so supply down. Like I said, almost 14%. Demand down almost 18% year over year. And what that's meant for the real estate market is essentially the predicament we're in right now, where we're starting to see a softening up of the real estate market. The list to sale price ratio has kind of gone down. It had been fluctuating right around 100%, 103% when it was a little bit hotter market. Now it's fluctuating a little bit more at essentially 98%. So we're seeing a little bit more negotiability. But the other thing we're really seeing is that most of the homes out there, if they're really good homes, they're still selling, and they're still selling at a great price. So those are some interesting things for us to keep watching. Normally I'd putt this, but there's so much stuff on the fringe, I think I'm gonna just have to chip it. Oof. That was not good. All right. Well, so far, it's been worth the money I spent on this putter. Hitting much better putts with it. Oh, that is ripped. Yeah, that's the way that's supposed to hit one. So price is an interesting conversation, because when we're talking about the market softening up, when we're talking about demand shrinking as much as it has, when we talk about supply shrinking as much as it has, the last thing people expect is that prices have gone up. But they have. Prices have gone up roughly 6% from this year, last year. So that's pretty incredible when you think about it. But it's just that really the simple economics of it is supply is lower, demand is lower, but the demand is still outpacing supply, as weird as that may seem. And we measure those types of things in months supply of inventory. And one of the things that people don't oftentimes think about is that month supply of inventory dictates what type of market we're in a lot of times. So whenever we're at 3 months supply or less, we're in typically a seller's market where we would expect prices to be going up. And that's still where we're at. The numbers came out for September, and we're at 2.2 months supply of inventory. We're continuing to see similar results with prices continuing to go up. This isn't always a good thing for people from an affordability standpoint. And so we'll touch on that here with what do I expect to be happening over the next 6 months. Well, let's see if we can find that ball first. Ooh, 117 yards. Take a little 50-degree. Sam, that's right at it. Oh yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about predictions. What do I expect the next 3 to 6 months to look like? Well, typically we see a seasonal slow up. We're gonna still see that. My concern is that it's gonna slow up so much that some people in this business are really gonna struggle. So that's a reality. We just may really barely sell much in the fourth and first quarters of the end of this year and beginning of next year. So that's just something to be thinking about. The amount of homes that we sell will probably be quite a bit less. If you're a seller and you're watching this video, the reality is that you should know that like if you've got a house, the more you can do to make sure that it's top notch, it's ready to go, and that it is super show ready. Like, this is not the time to necessarily just rush a house to market. You want to take the time, you want to clean it up, you want to get it staged appropriately, those types of things. You'll do pretty well in this market as long as we price it right. For those that are sellers that are rushing the house to market, we're seeing more price reductions, things like that. And so the reality is that there may be a situation in which if we miss the mark, like I said, it is softening up a little bit and you may have to do a price drop. For buyers in the market, you know, the reality, if you're a buyer in the market right now, this could be a really golden opportunity with things softening up and there not being a ton to necessarily choose of over the winter, but there's probably not going to be a lot of competition. And so if you want to be able to get something and not have to bid 20, 30 to 40,000 over asking price just to get it, you may be in a position to be able to do that. So I really think we're just going to continue to sell less homes over this next, you know, fourth and first quarter. But for those buyers and sellers that take advantage of those market conditions, I think you can do pretty well. And then come springtime, I think it's all going to depend on where interest rates are at that time. We're heading into an election year. That always impacts things. We've got a lot of turmoil in the world as we film this today. Israel is at war with Hamas. Russia and Ukraine are still at it. You know, we've got a lot of things going on in the world that are affecting the markets. So that will depend fully on how that impacts the interest rates, you know, here moving forward. But if interest rates start dropping, you better believe there's going to be a run on houses, and the buyers that want to buy are all going to rush into the market, and it's going to be super competitive. So I would tell you, try to buy now. Well, the market's softened a little bit. It's not a drastic amount, but it's a little bit. Might be worth it to explore getting into buying a house. See if I can make birdie here. That was a misread. All right, to stay even par for the 3 holes. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh. Well, hey, thanks for watching the video. Our team specializes in educating our clients to be the most educated clients possible when it comes to buying and selling their homes. So please keep us in mind. I hope you enjoyed the market update video. Don't roast my golf game too much in the comments, but welcome home.